Hey, good morning, everyone. Tim here at mine and Carolyn's house. Again, sitting out on the deck on this cool November morning. And as I walked out of the house today and stepped out on the deck, and there's an area between the house and the garage, and it's got leaves everywhere because I have two trees right here at the corner of the house that kind of overshadows part of the uh, little deck area that's between the house and the garage. And I noticed again, I noticed all the leaves that had accumulated here, and but this is the time of season for a change, right? It's when the trees have all turned different colors and the leaves are starting to fall, and things sometimes at some points have a dismal look about them. And so I'm coming to you this morning and tell you, first of all, how much I love you and appreciate you all. And I've been praying for you. And I know that I've heard back from several of you guys and that you've been enjoying my Facebook posts as well. And I just want you to stay and keep encouraged, be encouraged in the time, this winter time of what's happening here in our world, and also here in the United States. So this morning I want to talk to you about several things, and of course I will get back on our story, mine and Carolyn's story of our life and our love life and our marriage. Um, but I want you to think about a steady diet of good news. A lot of times, uh, a lot of times we know that when we a certain way that we eat, it's a certain way that we feel, and a certain way that affects our body, and so forth and so on. So I want you to feed on a steady diet of what is positive and what's uplifting and what is pure and what is good for you to make a healthy body. Just as foods make your body healthy, it's the right foods that you eat. So, and I've been posting a lot here lately about and encouraging a lot of you guys about the place that we're in here is the United States. And I've said to you that we are going to win and we are going to be victorious in the situations, and you know what I'm talking about, the situations that are going on, um, uh, pertaining mostly to our presidential election and the outcome of that. And I expressed to you guys in one of my posts that the Lord is angry. He's angry at the enemy. He's not angry at people, so to speak. He's disappointed in people because of their being used by the enemy to bring such unrest and such calamity in the world, and especially here in the United States. And so he's angry because at the enemy, because the word says that you don't touch God's anointed ones, and we're talking about our president, and we're talking about us, those who are believers, and even those who are not believers. God doesn't put up with molesting His children or His people at all in any areas, even in politics or in life and finances, and the way that life should go on. So God is angry against the enemy because He's touched the anointed ones. And I want you to know, when that happens, then that begins to rise up in people that are His anointed ones, people that are called for His purpose, to begin to speak out and to take action against the enemy that is trying and is trying very hard to come against us and put us in situations and put us in a chokehold or a winning submission hold. But we're not going to submit to that. We're not going to let that happen. So that's why I keep encouraging you. And I've also talked about in my last post about the revelation light. And your people are upset because things are happening, and you should be upset, and you should stand against it. Especially you people or people of faith should stand against it and tell the enemy, no, he'll not have our country, he'll not have our life, because First of all, we don't belong to him, we belong to God. But while we're in this world, we have dominion here as well. And I talked about the revelation light. That's what when I was praying that morning, the Lord expressed to me that He is shining a light, a revelation light on all what's going on. So things have to happen sometimes to bring awareness, to bring a light to, or an understanding to, and that's why I talk a lot about sometimes about discerning the times that you live in, and the surroundings and your environment that surrounds you, and how you are a winner and an overcomer. Understand this, that if someone calls themselves a winner and they achieve the goal or whatever they're trying to do or whatever, and if they do it in a cheating way, in a way of manipulation and in a way of deception and things like that, that's really not a win. That's still called cheating. Now the winners are us. We're the victorious one. Not only do we win in this situation, but we're being victorious in our lives and where we're at. So I want you to understand that you're the winner if you're doing the right things in which you did. You folks that voted the right way are winners, because God has given you your seed to plant, and you will reap the harvest that you planted. Now those who planted the harvest of corruption and discourse and the whole genre of things, that's what they're going to reap in their lives. And so I've been praying a lot for people. When I say I pray a lot, I'm not just on my knees or on my face, whatever, for hours and hours, but as I go through my day, I'm in a constant state of prayer, awareness and things. So I'm praying for the situation. The Word talks about that we be consistent in our prayer and be vigilant in our prayer, and be on point in our prayer. So we pray all day. You don't, like I said, you don't have to get in your closet, and that's okay. You don't have to get on your knees or on your face, and that's okay as well. But you can go through your day, but you're ever mindful of your day, and then you're in the mindset of prayer that you're praying for situations. You'll see things as you go through the day that needs prayer, that needs a word to be said to it, and that's what you do. So while I was praying that morning, I get up every morning and do my little Bible devotion, and I pray, and I seek directions for the day, and that's the directions I've had here lately, is to give those words of encouragement to those who are listening, not only by video but also Facebook and personal contacts and things. I want to lift you up. I want you to not be down, because the enemy is playing his recording and his videos to bring you down and put you in a state of despair that everything's going to fall apart. It's not going to fall apart. And that's why I said when I was praying that morning, God began to speak to me about the revelation light, that these things had to happen. They had to come about, because if they hadn't come about, then the light couldn't be exposed or be turned on to it to show you, the things that are going wrong. And so those things, now remember that whatever is hidden will be exposed, and it will be revealed, and it will be openly revealed, and you'll begin to see it, and everyone will be able to see it. But the enemy wants to deceive us in the conversation and in the things that we hear. He wants to put us down and to say that you're going to lose, you're not going to be an overcomer, but that is far from the truth. The truth of knowing the truth of God will actually, in the Word says, it will set you free. But you have to understand, you have to get the truth, and you have to understand the truth. So don't be surprised about what all is going on. God's not surprised. He's given, in Amos, it talks about, in the book of Amos, it talks about God always reveals his plan to his prophet, and in the time before that it actually comes about. Now, I'm not a prophet and don't claim to be a prophet or whatever, but we all get prophetic words from the Lord insights from God. So I mean, in essence, prophesying in the situations that we're in, that these things had to happen because they need to be exposed to what they are. And I'll kind of share with you as well right now that, when beginning of the first of the year and going into what the revelation that we received, Carol and I received at that time about the new vision being 2020 vision, and that there were going to be great manifestations and there were going to be great changes. Her and I were talking one morning, and she said that I saw something in the spirit, and I want to share it with you and see what you think. And that's something that Carol and I always did together. When the Lord was prompting something to us, or we, some people say it's what their conscience has spoke to them, but I know, being a person of covenant, that when I hear these things, I know they're coming from the Lord. So Carolyn expressed to me that day that she saw that what was going to happen in the year 2020, and most of you guys know that Carolyn went on to heaven in May of this year, but she was a great person of word, of the biblical word, and she was a great person of prayer. She was just a great woman overall in her life, and the way she helped people, and the way she wanted to serve the Lord. And so, like I said, this was done before the time Carolyn went on home, that she told me that she saw a great lizard. We hear our president about, and he talks about draining the swamp. And I don't know if you guys knew, but the place where government is at the actual area where the White House and all those in that area is there. At one time, that was a swamp. And so now the I guess subject matter or whatever is being called in draining the swamp. And so also too, I'll relate to that. I was talking to my son the other day, and we were talking about these issues and things that were going on, and I revealed to him what the Lord was saying to me and what the Lord said about the revelation light that needed to be shined on the time and the situations we're at. And he said, Dad, he said, what do people think when you drain the swamp? Are you just draining the water off of a lowland somewhere? He said, you have to drain the water off before you can see all the creatures that are there. And that's what's happening. And then that's what Carolyn saw when she was praying. And she told me that she saw this giant lizard, a iguana type lizard, or maybe a prehistorical type lizard. And that he came out of the swamp. He came out of the water. And she said, and the thing was that he had gotten into a trap. This big lizard had gotten into a trap, and his right leg was caught by this trap, and he couldn't get out of the trap, and he was floundering, and he was scratching and clawing and hurting everything around him. But he was in a state of panic because his right leg had been caught in this trap. And we know in marching and things, in people's cadence in life, they march, and sometimes they start with their right foot, or even their left foot. But in this case, the lizard was caught by the right foot. And so I want to tell you that what Carolyn saw at that time is what's happening now. This giant lizard, this lizard that may have controlled the swamp. He might have been the granddaddy of the swamp, so to speak. He may have been the godfather of the swamp. He's now being caught. It has been caught by one of his legs. And so he's going and floundering and scourging and clawing and trying to take everything with him down, and just trying to hurt everything, because he's not only mad, he's more hurt than he is mad. He's more scared than he is mad. And so that's what's happening now. And that's why the revelation light has to be shined upon the situations and everything that's in that swamp, everything that's not good, that's been deep-seated in our society and thing. It has to be revealed so it can be taken out, so it can be destroyed. And that's what's happening, because again, this lizard being caught by this trap now. Now, some animals at a point when they're caught in a trap, they'll actually gnaw or they'll bite off their own leg. But the thing of it is that he can't turn around to bite off his leg because of the rigid state of his body. And so that's what's happening. It's not going to be just amputated off or broken off. The whole lizard is going to be destroyed. And that's what God is saying in this time about the light. The light's being shown upon this. And you know how when you come in a dark area and you turn the light on, you see all kinds of little things scurrying everywhere, and that's what's happening. So I wanted to tell you that, and I share that with you. That's what Carolyn saw, and that's what's happening, and that's what the light has been shown on and through these months, and that was the beginning of the year of this year, and so like I said, Carolyn went on home in May of this year. But I thank the Lord that He gave her that word, because now that word has enveloped in me, and I know that God is showing me that the light has to be shown upon all these things that are going on. So I want to tell you, don't be discouraged. I want to tell you to stay in the light. And when you stay in the light, you'll be an overcomer. You'll be able to win over this. And like I said, those who gain position and those who gain prominence and those who have seen to gain wealth and things like that in a deceptive way, that it was stolen. The word says the enemy comes to steal. Okay, when the enemy comes to steal, that's what he's got to do first. And that's what's happened. These things are trying to be stolen away, because if they can steal it away, and they're not going to be able to do it, if they can steal it away. And also, as the word says, that the enemy comes to comes to steal, kill, and destroy. He comes to kill. He comes to steal, kill, and destroy. So we're not going to let the enemy steal this from us, because the light is being shown on it. It's being shown and being brightly lit up, and people are starting to rise up and they're starting to make their stand. So I want to tell you, don't be discouraged. Stand up and make your stand. Fight with your fight of faith. And you say, well, Tim, there's nothing I can do. I'm depending on other people to do their position. Well, then you continue to pray for them, and you continue to speak over them words of encouragement, words in your prayer. Remember, I've tried to teach you and show you that how important words are, that what words are, when spoken, are out in the atmosphere. So begin to speak out in the atmosphere the things that you want to happen. You don't want calamity to come to your life. You don't want destruction to come to your life. You don't want to be stolen from. You don't want to be destroyed. You don't want your legacy of your life to be destroyed, going to your children's, because they'll be in a state of being stolen from, a state of being killed and being destroyed as well. So you begin to speak over those areas. You begin to speak over your elected officials and people that are fighting for righteousness and justice. You continue to speak over that situation, and you'll see as you do. Understand this, that your voice, the right voice, and when I say the right voice, speaking the right things over something, brings illumination to it. It brings light to it, and that's what I'm talking about. The revelation of the light is going to be shown upon this. And you see things are so blatantly done, so blatantly expressed, and you see it, and it's just like, what can I do? I'm getting in a state of being flustered and frustrated, and what am I going to do? You're going to begin to stand up, just like I've been saying to you, and like I'm encourage you with encouragement. You begin to stand up. You begin to speak what you want to happen. Remember, we talked about in some of the videos calling those things that be not as though they were. Begin to call out those things. They'll begin to call those things not as you see them. I said in one of my posts that don't be viewing or seeing things that are happening now. Don't be listening to things that are happening now, because the voice that you hear is a voice that is against you, and that voice is speaking against your life and your situation, even my life and my situation. So we're going to rise up, and we're going to begin to speak. And as we speak, again, it's just as if we speak, then we are turning on the floodlights. So we're turning on the lights that can expose all these things. and we will win through all this situation. But more than just winning, because again, what I was saying about those who gain by deceptive measures, by lying and cheating, all that, that is not a winner. You are a winner. Winner. You will be victorious in this situation. I'm going to be victorious because we're going to speak the word. We're going to have the faith. We're going to believe that God's plan is good for us, and it is good for us. And God's plan is good, and not to bless us and not to harm us. So, some people say, where's God in this? God is in you and in the people that are fighting and standing. The sad thing is, sorry about that. I let the helicopter come over. I guess they might be trying to spy on me this morning. No, I'm only kidding. But the important thing, again, I say that quite often, and the things I say to you are very important, is that you not be discouraged, that you not get down, that you don't allow these things to affect you, because when they start getting into into your spirit, especially into your mind, and then it gets down into your body, it makes you ill, it makes you sick, it makes you vulnerable for sickness and other areas. So we never want to walk in strife and unforgiveness, and because we know when strife and envy is there, the word says every evil spirit abounds, every evil thing abounds in that situation. So we want to be a people of joy and peace and exuberance, to know we're excited about the times we live in. We're excited about the things that are going to be exposed. They needed to be exposed for years and years and years, and so now is the time for that to happen. I was thinking about it earlier as well, that through the last time, through the last administration, and then going into the administration that we have now, the candidates that were running against our president at that time, if those people would have won, this would never have been brought to light. So you got to understand that if that regime or that those folks would have been in power, then this stuff would be even buried more. They would have flooded the swamp with more water, and then it would begin to take territories, and it would not be exposed like it is now. So be excited these things are being exposed. Be excited those things are happening around you. I know it's hard to do that because it's you're at a sense of vulnerability. You're a sense that you don't know what to do. So I'm telling you what to do. Begin to pray. Begin to read the Word. Begin to encourage yourself. I'm going to continue to encourage you. The Bible says that you build up your most holy faith by praying in the Spirit. Jude 20 says that. So go in there and boast yourself up. Pep talk yourself with the Word. Get that going and be stirred up. Stay stirred up. Keep speaking against those things. Now, when we speak against things, we're not just actually speaking against people, but we speak against the evil, the spirits that are controlling those situations. It came upon me too that I want to continue to pray for those people that are being involved, the people that are cheating, the people that are stealing, the people that are trying to destroy lives, the people that are trying to get control. We want to pray for them because they're so deceived in their minds. And I'm believing God that at some point in their life or during this time, maybe the thought of even being caught and being punished for some wrongdoings or something, maybe that'll bring them to the point that they need to change. They need to have God in their lives. Now, it's those situations when people live in that, and it goes for you and me as well. If we continue to live in those situations, that we can be turned over to a reprobate mind, and so our thought life is very contrary to the goodness that God wants for us in this time. So don't let your mind be turned over to a reprobate mind. We see and hear all those things that are going on. Now remember too that when the light comes on, the revelation light is shown upon the situations that happen. It also shows and is turned on to you to see yourself. So begin to look at yourself. If you need a change of heart, if you need a change of direction, begin to see that. And then that's okay. It's good. It's good to have the light turned on. That way you don't run into obstacles. You don't hurt yourself. You don't fall off of cliffs. You don't stump your foot. You don't run your car into a bridge. It keeps you from that. So let the light shine on you as well. And so as the light shines on us, it's going to give us not only the warmth to know that we're going to be victorious in this life, but it also gives you energy. It gives you vitality. It's reviving you. So be excited about the time. I'm so excited about where we're at. I told you that I love to win, and I've won and the majority of the things in my life, and it's a great feeling to win. And so it doesn't matter. When I say it doesn't matter, if you understand what I'm trying to say, and is that when you face things in life, it will be easy for you to overcome them. But when you're discouraged and you're pushed down, and the enemy has walked upon you, and you've had disappointments in your life, that is a state that you don't want to stay at. You want to get out of that. So I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna repeat this to you again. Be stirred up today. Be fired up. Be speaking what you want to happen. Begin to speak out over the situation, over your life, over maybe not just what's going on in the political world, but the things that are going on in your life. Begin to speak over those things, and when you do, then light, the revelation of light, is going to fall upon it, and you're going to see what needs to be changed. We're going to see who needs to be taken out of position. We're going to see what needs to be done. We're going to see who has lied, who has cheated, who has positioned themselves, and the frightful thing I think about it too is that when people are so deceived like that, they think they have won, and really they have not, because it's still cheating, and they're still in a trap. They're still being controlled by those situations in our life. We don't want to be controlled by anything but the Spirit of the Lord, the Holy Spirit. No one but Jesus controls our lives. No one but, and so if you go with that aspect, and I've had people say, Tim, do you worry about things? I don't concern myself about things. What I can change in my life. I try to look at my life every day, how I'm living, and how I'm picturing myself, and how I'm really showing myself to you and to my friends. So it's great to do that, and don't be concerned about that when the light is shown on those areas, because then you realize that needs to be changed, that needs to be corrected, and that can be corrected and changed. It's never too late. While you're here now, remember I spoke to you a lot about that we're in the now, so that change has to come, and you will be able to see in the near future. November the 5th had some symbolic meanings as well, as because that's some history or whatever. Even in England, in November the 5th, 1605, there was a great scandal that was happening, and then of course this was over in Europe, in United Kingdom, and then in November 5th of 1655, I believe it was, there were other scandals. So there is a scandal that has happened. So the scandal, like I've taught you and said to you, that when a nation is offended, or people are offended, they walk in unforgiveness. And when you walk in unforgiveness, there is a I believe it's a Greek word or a Hebrew word that when you are offended and have taken on that offense, that word is scandal, and that scandalon, and that's where the word scandal is coming into the meaning of it. Scandalon being scandal. And see, that's what we're at. We're in a period of scandalon. There's this period of scandals that are happening and things that are going around. You all know what I'm talking about. I'm not deliberating or talking about certain situations. And you see what's going on. So now I want you to continue into and have a steady diet of good news. The good news is that you're going to be overcome, and we are going to win, and we are going to see victory through this, because this is our appointed time. This is the time that this has to happen, and to me, I'm so excited about it because out of those things and changes, and out of the light been shown on situations and things, even things in my life that a great explosion, a great thing is going to happen, a great good thing is going to happen. I said also in my last Facebook post is that we need to be stirred up. We need to stay excited because we're going to be entering the third great awakening. We're going to enter into that, and a great revival is going to come. It's going to be a great blessing that's going to come on this land because United States is in God we trust. We are a Christian nation. Don't ever believe that we're not a Christian nation. There are more Christians than there are non-Christians when this is a Christian nation because God had said it so, because we had wanted God into our nation, and so when God came in our nation, we became a Christian nation. So don't let anyone tell you that you're not a Christian nation. Are you a Christian? Yes, you're a Christian. Are you a nation in yourself? Yes, you're a nation within yourself because you're part of what's going on. So this is a Christian nation. It says you're a royal priesthood, a holy nation. That's what the Bible says. So begin to walk in your royalty. Begin to walk into the ambassadorship of your nation, because this nation is not going to fall. It's not going to go down. As long as the Holy Spirit is here, this nation will continue to prosper and improve. Now, will enemies come against us? Yeah. They're always trying to steal, kill, and destroy, and that's what they're trying to do now. But we're not going to allow it to happen. God has given us a dominion in this life. So, again, begin to speak over those things. Begin to speak the goodness of God over it. Begin to speak the righteousness over it, and then you'll see that it'll be illuminated and those things will be exposed. And we'll see that lizard in Carolyn's vision and Carolyn's insight that she saw. We'll be able to see that lizard totally destroyed, not just be caught, but be totally destroyed and taken down. So I hope I excited you this morning. I've stirred myself up completely that now the more the leaves are falling, you see them fall by sometimes, that we're not going to fall as the leaves fall, but we're going to continue to grow and prosper in our lives. So stay stirred up today. Stay fired up today. Don't take any blows. Don't take any blows from the enemy today. Fight back with your fight of faith. And we have a great faith in God. We have a great faith in what God is wanting to happen today. So begin to stand up. The word says when you've done all to stand, and you do that, you begin to stand and stand and stand. And when you stand, then you will overcome. You will be the one who will have the victory. You can see it, and you'll be able to see it with your own eyes. So be very encouraged today. Be very excited about today. Go and be prosperous